the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and baby, we talking cheating again. We've discussed all the ways that people cheat, the way we define cheating, and just the different things we've been through. But we've never discussed how to recover from cheating in a relationship. And baby, I got people here who are willing to share their stories and an expert who's gonna tell us exactly how and if we can recover. So let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
All right, baby, we're gonna talk about recovering from infidelity today, and later on, I'm actually gonna go to a distillery here in the Houston area, which shows me what they use to make this delicious espresso martini. All right, let's go down the line though. We've got Brittany here for the very first time, and you're about to get real vulnerable with me, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, but welcome to the Nightcap, okay?
Thank you so much.
Sitting next to you, we've got a veteran of the show. We got Rudy here in the building.
Hey.
I can't wait to see this side of you.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
And the beautiful face next to you, we got Fuzzy. Hey, girl. Very different side of things, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we've got nail therapist back, Crystal.
Hey, y'all.
And of course, psychotherapist and connection expert Jen Pinkerton here to break it all down.
Yes.
All right, we're discovering recovering from infidelity, but what exactly is infidelity, Jen?
Well, infidelity is obviously anybody that's going to, in a relationship, and you're going to break the agreement, whatever that agreement is, because it depends on what kind of relationship you have as to what that looks like. Some relationships are open, some are closed. It depends on how that works. But at the end of the day, somebody was betrayed and somebody violated that commitment.
And you guys all have examples. You're nodding. So,
Yeah.
who volunteers to go first?
Well,
Fuzzy.
Okay, I'll go
right.
first. I was dating a guy. He was a really good friend of mine. We were friends for many, many, many years, like 10 years. And then we said if after 10 years that nobody wants us and we don't get married, that we will get together. And we did. Okay.
Okay.
We got together for a couple of years. And he's a known liar. Why did I get with him? I'm obviously...
You had a commitment.
We had
After
a
10 years?
commitment.
Yeah, okay.
So we got together, and plus we vibe. I'm out, and he comes in the bar, one of our neighborhood bars.
The one you're at.
The one I'm at. He comes in, and we have mutual friends, and he comes in with another woman. I know.
Oh my gosh.
And all the
Embarrassed
friends,
you in front of people.
oh, our friends. Everybody, look, get her a drink right now. Whatever she wants, it's on me. And it was just hilarious. So I stood up, introduced myself. How you doing? How's everybody doing? He was just looking like. And they left maybe after an hour, but I made everything uncomfortable. I didn't act up. I mean, I'm classy.
Good. There you go.
I didn't
That's
act
good.
up. I'm
That's
classy.
good. That's good.
I didn't act up. Him and the girl left. I ended up going home, and he just kept calling me. I didn't answer. And then the next week, he's like, what are you doing today? Can you meet me at church? You know, a man, after they mess up, they always want to invite you to church. Now we got to get the Lord involved. Now we got to get God involved. So now I got to go to church. So I went to church. Then we went out for pizza, and he proposed with no ring. So I said, you know,
Oh, wow.
I do love you and all, but your penis is too small for me to make this commitment, and Lil Ugly can have you, and you have a nice life.
Oh
wow.
my God.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jen. I was going to go down the story out the gate. First story out the gate. Do you find people who commit infidelity will go to wild extremes?
well, absolutely. I mean, you know, who wants to get caught? But I do also think that we can't really label someone as once a cheater, always a cheater, or a liar is forever a liar in that way, because then we are not giving the opportunity for the other person to evolve and grow. And we do all have that capability if they want to.
All right, who wants to go up next?
Well, my story is not as elaborate as Fuzzy's here. Was dating a guy. I mean, y'all, I was so
Smitten.
One of my friends lived next door to him, and I actually heard him having sex with someone else from their wall. So I'm beating on the wall. I'm like, hey, hey. and ended up throwing something at the window. He never came out. A week and a half later, he was like, "You crazy. It was nobody in there. You didn't hear anything." Clearly, we all heard everything.
Oh, no.
And if I didn't hear anything, why didn't you come out?
Exactly. The lights were on. His car was there. We heard everything. I have never been able to get over it, so
bye-bye.
I was done. One and done. I think that I probably could have dealt with it a little more if it had been on the text messaging or email phase, but to actually hear
the full act.
the and know it was physical. And I've met your family, like you've met my family. You're over at my house for Christmas. I go to your parents' house. Like y'all were serious.
We
go together. If you could do that to me and you'll keep doing it. I mean, I know what you just said, but I couldn't it was something I couldn't get over.
But that's important. You knew right then, this is going to be a hard boundary for me, and I can't get past that.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, is to understand what your boundaries are, because for everybody that can look very different.
And what about that gaslighting? That
Yeah,
you
you
don't
know,
hear a single thing.
For those people who don't know what gaslighting is, it's when anybody tries to deny your reality.
Right.
And your reality is you heard what you heard. And you knew what you knew.
Exactly.
And he didn't want to face that fact. He didn't want to be accountable. And that is right there a reason why it would be impossible to recover, because you cannot recover from infidelity without that accountability, without that remorse.
Until this day, he still denies it.
Once a lie, always a lie.
You did not hear me.
At
I
least
don't know what you heard.
Deny. Listen, I'm going to need you to sit through these commercials and come on right back, because I still got Crystal and Rudy to chat. So you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been discussing infidelity, and eventually we'll learn how to recover from it if we even can. We've heard from B, we've heard from Fuzzy, but now it's time to hear from Rudy and Crystal as our wonderful psychotherapist and connection expert, Jen Pinkerton, breaks it down. So, Rudy, Crystal, who wants to share?
I go next.
All right, Rudy, come on.
All right, so I was in the Navy at this time. I ended up I had a boyfriend at the time. We were together for about 6 months.
Okay.
I got new orders to go to San Diego, and so I was gonna break up with him, but he was like, "Why don't we just make this work? We can get married." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. That'll work." I know it sounds kind of crazy, but people do it all the time for the money and things like that.
Benefits, etc.
Benefits, all those things. We decided it was his option to be open. I said, "Sure, fine." So we were open relationship. He had his rules that he wrote down, and I had mine. My only rule was that if I'm out to sea, serving my country, both of us stop. We're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. He had rules like no repeat hookups, no kissing, but also same thing. If I'm out to sea, we're not doing anything. So basically, before I went on deployment for about 3 months, I was kind of nervous to go on deployment, but I told him, "Hey, I'm going." He was like, "Don't worry, I'll think of you. I'll take care of you. We're gonna be good to go." 1 month into the 3-month underway, he called me and told me that he cheated on me with some guy, and that all they did was kiss. It was on his list, exactly, and he was bawling, crying, and like trying to explain his story, and I felt like he was just walking around in circles and just kind of like giving me the runaround, but like wanted to take some of the pain off of himself, the guilt, and kind of relieve it, and I feel like that's why he couldn't wait until I got back. So we did try counseling, but I think because he told me so early into the deployment, that 2-month time period, I just kind of like digested him out of my system, because he made all these rules and he lied, and I was just like kind of feeling a little stupid for marrying him super quick. I couldn't come back from it. I permanently saw him as my enemy.
Wow.
And I think that the bond that I had with him might not have been strong enough. What
I admire, before we get to Jen's perspective, is you laid out rules, both of you. You laid out boundaries, you agreed upon them, and the fact that he admitted what he did. If he told the full truth and nothing but the truth, that is admirable, in my opinion. All right, Jen, come on, give it to us though.
Well, there's a lot of parts to this. It's painful. when this happens.
Right.
And you specifically stated you had this time to process those feelings, and maybe you got to a quicker place than he did of saying, you know, I'm really done with this. But back to what defines infidelity. You know, you laid this out. Y'all had a contract about what was going to work for you, and he violated that. And then you even try to go to counseling. You're doing the steps that look as though we're on a path to recovery. But what I'm hearing here is that you weren't there. You had already decided in that time period that you were done. And that's why it's so important for both partners to be on the same page. Because if you're not both in the same place stating, you know what, we want to try to make this work, maybe even if we don't know if we can, but our intentions and our purpose is that we're going to be committed to trying to get through this and heal, that would have been one thing. But you had already gotten to a place where you knew that it was over for you.
All right, Crystal, you up, baby.
Okay, so I have been on both sides. I've been on the cheatee and the cheater side of it. And when I was being cheated on, I was kind of young and it's like, you know, I'm going to try to make it work. And I just don't necessarily think that it's a non-negotiable. But all the other stuff just made it bad, so I had to scrap that. Good
I'm
day.
gonna need you to give me a little bit more detail on this.
Yeah, because I'm like waiting for all the
Okay,
other.
so I feel like
Cheating is at the top.
I don't think that cheating is at the top because it's like, all right, like Jen said, just because you cheat once don't mean you're going to cheat forever and ever and ever,
It's
right?
not at the top for me either.
It's not at the top.
It's not.
Same.
Is it a big deal? Absolutely. But I also think that cheating has nothing to do with sex sometimes. Like
I agree.
the texting, the conversation, like it could be that.
Absolutely.
Just like heard, absolutely, positively. So you agree that there is a recovery?
Yeah, I think
so,
I
too.
think so.
I think-
Jen, you got some tips,
Okay.
yeah, Jen?
Yes, I got tips.
All right, listen, coming up next, Jen is gonna lead us on the path to recovery, if there is a path for you. So I'm gonna need you to sit back, relax, and we're gonna get the tips coming up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I've been discussing with my friends different infidelities we've been through. Back to what Crystal was saying earlier.
You know, Crystal made a really interesting point, which was you were talking about, you don't think, you know, maybe people don't cheat just because of sex. And we were talking about that. And I think understanding that there are some main reasons why people cheat, and it's important to know what those are, and it's important to understand why did you cheat or why did your partner cheat. You know, sometimes it is about sex. Sometimes it's about ego. Sometimes it's about opportunity. Sometimes it's about unhealed trauma. Sometimes it's because I want an exit. It's an exit strategy. But understanding that is a key part to the recovery, because until you know the why, you don't really know what you're working from.
Bingo. Bingo.
Okay. So I was cheated on one night stand in Vegas.
Okay.
I found out somehow, some way. And I tried to make it work, you know? It came out in the open, bada bing, bada boom. It was one night stand. He didn't know the girl's name, nothing, or whatever. Vegas, we back together. I tried. And then I was crazy, you know? And so one of my really good friends, Ray, was like, listen, either you're committing to the relationship and you are forgiving, maybe not forgetting, but forgiving,
Right.
and you're giving it an honest shot. But if you're always gonna come back to it and complain about it, like, what are y'all even doing? What are the steps?
I think that a lot of people do need help to get past it, because especially in your example, you were really stuck in a place of a lot of pain and a lot of trauma from that, and you weren't easily going to forget that to be able to move forward. So in that case, I'd recommend you get some help. Either way, whether you're doing it independently or with the help of a professional, there has to be accountability. I mean, it has to be. It can't be where you're still wondering, is somebody telling you the whole truth? You have to have it out there, and there has to be that trust and transparency. You can't still have these secretive behaviors where you can't see my phone and you can't know what's going on. You got to put it all out there. And there has to be remorse. There has to be a willingness to say, I am acknowledging that I hurt you, and to validate your partner's feelings of that hurt. Because those are the basic foundations. Until we do some of that, we can't even unpack how it really feels or how we're going to create a new structure. Because the old relationship you had is dead. We have to build a new one that looks very different, with a new set of structure, a new way that we understand each other's feelings. And once we've identified why the infidelity happened, then we're going to work on making sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you think that we can actually never have infidelity in a marriage at all?
Yes, but I'm also have to be honest that the statistics are that over half of all marriages have some sort of infidelity. And that does happen. But I think that you can, if the word makes sense of fair proof, although there is no guarantee ever, but you can do certain things in your relationship that's going to help that not happen. And the number one thing is that commitment with communication. To be able to talk about things, to be able to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I'm unhappy in this relationship or this marriage because either our sex is not satisfying, you know, or I don't feel seen or heard, or I'm carrying all the mental load and I'm mad and I'm angry, or I don't feel like you pay enough attention to me. Whatever it is that you're unhappy about, you've got to be vulnerable enough to communicate it, to maybe beat that infidelity before it happens, if that makes sense.
I think we need a part 2 to this. All right, listen, I done finished my drink. We got to do a part 2.
Let's come back.
Good.
All right, listen, cheers. Thank y'all so much for coming on and sharing your stories.
Cheers.
And Jen, for your expertise.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
All right,
Jen.
coming up next, I'm heading to William Price Distilling. I went there earlier, and that's where I picked up the wonderful coffee, liqueur, and more. You stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I am no longer in studio, baby. I am at William Price Distilling, which just had a grand opening, and I'm sitting next to Zach Hiller, who is the VP and co-owner of this place. Thanks for having me, darling.
Thanks for coming.
All right, so you had a big celebration.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was nice after all these years to actually have a real grand opening that we never really got to have because of COVID. But you know, it took a minute to pause, refresh the space a little bit, brand new cocktail menu, brand new programming, and actually have the celebration we've been wanting to have for the last 4 years.
Hell yeah, about damn time.
Yeah.
Especially when you got so many award-winning things.
Sure.
But let's talk about where we're at. Where are we?
So we're in Garden Oaks right now, up in the Heights. We're in the back of the distillery on the production floor. The stills are right behind you. One of the other things we do here is we make our coffee liqueur. It starts its life as a vodka, and we infuse it with locally roasted Cat's coffee. It's one of our favorite.
I love Cat's coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah, this coffee is.
What?
Yeah.
The hell is this?
It's magic in a bottle.
This is magic in a bottle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm leaving with this. I'm leaving with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so award-winning.
Yeah. So it's this product's won a lot of different awards for us. We've 3 of the last 4 years it won a gold medal at ADI, American Distilling Institute.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I know we're sipping on this coffee, but I mean, I'm a whiskey girl, I'm a rye girl. We're gonna try some of those as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and so that was the production floor, and if you want to follow me through the lounge here.
Nice little lounge.
I've got some flights waiting for us here in the bar.
Bobby, you understood the assignment, Zach. Okay, so I mean, this place is gorgeous. So I mean, do you have events here? Like, what can people rent
we've
out?
got multiple different spaces that people can rent out whenever they want to have a private or semi-private event. But if not, we're open 7 days a week. We've got bottle sales Monday through Friday during regular office and production hours. And then Wednesday through Sunday, the bar is open for cocktails. We've got a brand new cocktail menu that we just introduced.
So, talk to me about what's in front of me.
Yeah, so we're gonna start right here on your right.
Okay.
This is our honey finished rye whiskey. It's a local collaboration. And what we do
Another
here,
local collaboration.
collab,
Katz is local, okay.
Yeah, so we make this one with beehive honey, and he will take an empty barrel, fill it up with honey, bottle that honey, give us back the barrel, we fill it up with whiskey, and this is what comes out.
Oh, y'all wild.
Yeah.
Cheers. Who comes up with this? That's fantastic. It coats completely. Honey's coming through. It smells floral. It smells amazing. It feels amazing. All right, what we got next?
All right, so next is our cask strength.
I love that.
Also good.
Perfect burn, perfect start.
So moving on down the line, we've got our 101. And so this one, the Rye 101 is made the same way as the cask, except we proofed it down with a little bit of water.
Okay.
And then this one is great in cocktails as well.
Okay.
Okay, this one goes a little bit, because of the water, goes down a little smoother.
So it opens it up a little
Yeah.
bit, completely different. Now it's the same whiskey, right? Different barrels, same whiskey, a little bit of water, changes the flavor completely.
All right, what's this last
And
one?
then last on here, we've got our limoncello. We just made our newest batch of this during our grand opening party. We had everyone who came by, they helped us peel some lemons. We got it soaking. This is from last year's batch, but the new one, when it comes out, it's gonna be really good.
Oh, hell yeah. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is summer.
Yeah, it's summer in a bottle, for sure. And we also have cocktails.
Oh, baby, what we got here?
So here we've got lavender lemon drop and our lychee martini here.
What?
Yeah.
All right, well, clearly I've got some drinking to do and some cocktails to try. Thank you so much, Zach. Listen, cheers to you. You better come to William Price Distilling here in Garden Oaks, baby. And y'all better come on the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. They just had
Anytime.
their grand opening, so come. All right, don't be cheating on nobody either, all right? See you guys next time.